What's going on, Apes, the Ape Army? Welcome back to the channel. We have a very important AMC update video to get into, and we're going to be talking about this reverse repo situation that is going on because we are almost at $1 trillion of overnight reverse repos. So we're going to clear the air if you guys are unaware of exactly what this is and what this does mean, as far as how it does pertain to AMC as well. But we are also going to take a look at an AMC S3 filing that they just filed, which is essentially saying that they paid off their debt, or most of their debt, which makes it unavailable for short sellers to buy these convertible bonds and cover their short positions for a much cheaper cost, which ultimately helps our cause here with the AMC short squeeze. So I don't want to waste any time getting into this information. The only thing that I ask is that you hit that like button for me if you do like the analysis and content that was provided to you in this video. Now, with that being said, let's first off talk about this overnight reverse repurchase agreement situation, or just reverse repos for short. And essentially what this is how banks, they have a lot of money on their balance sheet, right? People deposit that money into a bank. Think about it like a savings account. You put your money into a savings account, they pay you interest. Well, if you have all that cash and the bank's not making enough interest, that is a huge liability on their balance sheet, and they would actually be losing a lot of money. So the only thing that they can do, or two things they can do, is buy investments, right? They could buy Coca-Cola if they wanted to. They're a bank. They can do anything we can, but on a bigger level. So they can buy dividend stocks, they can buy income producing assets. But if they don't do that and there's just too much cash, like we are seeing indicated by these reverse repos, then they will do these reverse repos, which is essentially giving the Fed this money in exchange for collateral, and they do get paid interest on this, 0.05%. During the pandemic, we've seen very low levels of reverse repo rates because we were only at a 0.01% interest rate. So you were pretty much getting nothing on your investment. So there's two sides of the coin here that I do want to clarify as well. And just like this guy says, Scott Skyrim, Executive Vice President in Fixed Income and Repo at Curvature Securities, he says in quotes, "There's either too much cash or not enough collateral." So that pretty much sums it up in about 4 words what is going on. There is either too much cash, and as we all know, stimulus checks have been passed out, unemployment insurance has been going for over a year. We have a lot of money that is flowing in the economy right now. But would that money really contribute to about $1 trillion that is being put up in these reverse repos? We are now currently at $991.9 billion. We are well over double what our previous other all-time high was back in 2016, December 30th, to be a matter of fact, when that was only at $468 billion. So these banks, they either have too much cash, which is a liability, or they need to turn that cash for their clients, obviously with all these short positions, especially on AMC, but a lot of other stocks, turn that cash, which is a liability, into treasury bonds, which is collateral. And who wouldn't take treasury bonds, right? It's the safest asset in the world you could possibly buy. So they are doing this to, I think, convert this into collateral. Now, there could be a mix of the two going on. We could see, I would estimate about $200 billion, maybe, because I don't think much has changed, obviously, from even the start of 2021. Back in March, we were at super low rates here, less than $1 billion on some days. So I don't think much has changed from March 17th, when we were literally at zero, now to almost $1 trillion. So I don't think it's per se there's too much cash in the banks, which could have a small effect. Like I said, I would estimate around 200 billion at the highest end, but we're seeing another additional, at least in my opinion, $700 billion that is coming for collateral. And that would explain what is actually going on. And these direct spikes do correlate with the exact times that AMC and GameStop did start to really rev up. And specifically June 1st, we were only at $447.9 billion in reverse repos. Now we are over double that, like I said, at almost $1 trillion, $991 billion. So I do think there is a rush to collateral here, and these banks, they need as much of it as possible. And we do see these NSCC rules and regulations that are putting into effect that are essentially saying, hey, you guys are over leveraging yourself, and this is giving us a red flag of that. They're saying you're over leveraging yourself, and we're not going to be on the back end of this. And you see a lot of rules I don't want to go into too much because this may already be a long video, but you're essentially seeing all the red flags come out that these hedge funds funds and institutions are over leveraged, especially when you do put them all together. It is obvious to see. Now, if we go to this SEC filing that AMC did just file, this S3, it says registration withdraw request. And if you click on it, it just leads you back to a lot of these other dates and a lot of other forms that were filed with the SEC. But the one that is important here is the March 4th, 2021 form. And let's go to that and see exactly what it says. And this is about the convertible senior notes that are due in 2024, $600 million worth for 2.95%. And what is important to know here, guys, is essentially these convertible notes, they can act as a couple different things. If you are a short seller in AMC, you want to get your hands on these if at all possible, and you can actually buy these notes. Obviously, it's a lot harder for us to do this, but if you're an institutional investor, you can do this. But what this is essentially saying, without reading the whole thing, is that AMC, or it's signaling that AMC actually wants to get rid of this whole thing. The only way you can do that is if you buy back all these issuance, right? Buy back the $600 million and pay the interest that are on these convertible notes. And this is basically saying as well that short sellers won't be able to get their hands on these convertible notes and convert them into much cheaper shares, ultimately using them to cover their short positions. And if you do just take a look through the filings, and I actually just search for the words of shorting, let's do this again, shorting, and it comes up right here. Investors in and potential purchasers of the notes who employ or seek to employ a convertible arbitrage strategy with respect to the notes may be adversely impacted by regulatory developments that may limit or restrict such a strategy. The SEC and other regulatory or self-regulatory authorities have implemented various rules and taken certain actions, and may in the future adopt additional rules and take other actions that may impact those engaging in short selling activity involved equity securities, including our Class A common stock. Such rules and actions include Rule 201 SEC regulation of certain regulatory reforms required by the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act of 2010. Any government or regulatory action that restricts the ability of investors in or potential purchasers of the notes to effect short sales of our Class A common stock, borrow our Class A common stock, or enter into swaps on our Class A common stock could adversely affect the trading price and the liquidity of the notes. So what this is saying is you can do this. That is something they can do. Arbitrage, if you guys don't know, a good way to look at this is buying AMC stock on our exchanges and then going and selling it on the Europe exchange. That is a good way to look at arbitrage trading. High frequency algorithmic trading programs do this all the time. It is literally free money. But when you apply this strategy, not with just AMC, but specifically in AMC, they are saying if something were to happen, if we limit up or down halts, right, we go down 15%, stay down, never come back up, then they are not in any way, shape, or form responsible for your arbitrage going against you. So they are pretty much doing away with these convertible notes, buying them back. That's the only way to do away with them, is buying them back, about $600 million worth, which the CEO of Aron, I already say Aron, but Aron said that he wanted to do with some of this equity and cash that he has raised through share offerings is refinance some of this debt or even just pay off the debt in full. So that is what it looks like is going on here. New developments may come out, but from what we can see, these short selling arbitrage opportunities are going to be taken away and severely restricted. Now, we don't know if he completely sold out of all of these, if they put up $300 million and covered half of them, or if he bought this whole $600 million worth. But either way, I think this is a great thing for AMC shareholders if you're looking for the short squeeze or even invested in this for the long term. Now, I'm not a financial advisor or a financial planner, so always do your own due diligence and come to your own conclusions, because you are the only one that is responsible for investing in anything if you lose money or make money. So that is going to be all for this video. I do think this is a huge win for AMC shareholders for the short squeeze, like I said, for the long term as well. But that is going to do it for this video. If you guys like the analysis that was provided to you in this video, hit that like button for me, consider subscribing to the channel, and also check out the links down below in the description. Get free stock in about 3 minutes time with no deposit necessary and no need to even link a bank account with the link for public, as well as deposit $100 with Webull. Get 4 free stocks, each of them potentially worth up to $2,400 a piece. And I do also have my buy and sell alerts link down there. You can ask ask me any personal questions, any opinions you want on any trades or anything else in between, or just talk. So that is available, those links down below in the description. Check that out if you have not already. But with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.